And there it is. The Unpacked event has concluded for the Galaxy Flip 4. This is an interesting conversation to have. I'll start with what I didn't think was going to be the most important part of this conversation, but turned out to be the most important part of this conversation, are once again, Samsung has gone nuts with these trade-in offers. And that's fine because they charge a lot of money, so you should be able to get some opportunities to get a break on it. But it's really something special. And we're going to talk about whether you should upgrade from a Flip 3 to a Flip 4, and they made it really easy. If your Flip 3 is in decent condition, you get $900. $900 to trade in this Flip 3 for a Flip 4. Leaves you with a $100 bill. $100, because then you got the trading credits and all the rest. And if you use the link in the description, A, it goes to directly help the channel. So that I appreciate that quite a bit. But B, they've preserved, if you use that link, they preserve the pre-order credit, $200 credit thing, up to $200 credit thing that they had previously, and you get that through the link. So go ahead and utilize that if you're looking to order one of these. Okay, from the presentation, you could see what their focus was. They were really looking for a reintroduction of the Flip to people. They want this to be the mainstream device. They want this to be the fancy device. They want this to be the chic device. They want this to be the device on the arm of celebrities, which is why they've kind of, like, we could do this stuff before, right? We could have the camera before and the Flip stuff before and the outer camera selfie stuff before, but they felt the need to highlight those again because they want people to know about it. They want this to be the mainstream foldable. That's why I believe they kept it 256 gigs at $999, because that's the magic number. Once you start getting up into the 1,000 plus, it's more of a conversation at the carrier store, at Best Buy, at Verizon, and people say, oh, do I really want to do that? What's that payment per month? I don't know about that. And then it starts to be a thing. Under 1,000, it's in the same category as the iPhone, and this is the people that they're going after. People who back in the day got an iPhone because they could say they had an iPhone. That's why they got the Flip. And if you noticed, the bespoke edition ones are available right away. That's not a mistake. They want people to be able to customize these things and get them because they are fashion accessories in part. They are good phones as well. We're going to talk about some important upgrades. If you don't have a Flip at all, I'm telling you, it's a fantastic experience. It's the best of both worlds. It's a world in which you can disconnect a little bit because it's a concerted effort. You have to actually go ahead and open up the device in order to check stuff. So, that extra Facebook feed check, that extra Twitter feed check sometimes just doesn't happen, which is quite good. But when you do need a fully fledged smartphone, when you do need something that can take that picture, that you get that video, you can watch that content or view that feed or whatever it happens to be at a family event, then you can go ahead, open it up, and get the full 2022 smartphone experience. So I do like that. And there is a bit of nostalgia to it. Back in the day when we used to flip these phones closed and have some fun with that. But you get it compact in the hand. You can see the size of it. It is really just a fantastic experience to have one of these. So if you're just a tech fan and you're an Android user and you're in the market for a new phone, do check one of these out. The prices are good. The trade-in offers are very aggressive, and you can look at that. If you're coming from a first generation of the Flip or even the Flip 5G, I think this is absolutely a worthy upgrade. It's kind of night and day. You get at least an outer display that you could see stuff on, you could take a proper selfie on, and you could have a bit more of a better experience there. And the hinge and stuff, the under display, the UTG, the ultra thin glass upgrades and the stability upgrades to it and the durability upgrades to the hinge, you could absolutely feel. So I would certainly recommend that. The conversation becomes, if you have a Flip 3, would you upgrade to a Flip 4? And they made it for $100. I would say yes, that's a no-brainer. You trade this in, you get $900 and you do that. But let's say you don't want to do that. Let's say you like your Flip 3, and you should, because it's working just fine. If it weren't for the trade-in values or the trade-in offers that they had there, and you were getting okay battery life for you, then there really wouldn't be a need to upgrade, because you really don't have a point there, because the speed, the 888 is going to be fine for years to come. You don't have to worry about that. So it's not an issue of it not having enough power, or not having enough RAM, or not having enough storage, or the screen not being fantastic, or it not being durable, or the hinge, or any of that stuff. It's just a question of, are you somebody who, and there were a lot of people in the comments that held back from buying this phone and were unhappy having this phone because the 3.5, 4 hours of screen on time that they were getting just wasn't enough. Well, they went from 3,300 hours to 3,700. And you add in the fact that they are using the Snapdragon 8 Plus, which everybody jumps up and down about how that's going to provide all kinds of different efficiencies and power efficiency. I've heard it before. I've heard it before. And everybody swears this time it's for real, so we'll see when it comes in. But if you add the power efficiencies of that new chip with the 3,700 milliamp hour battery, and you can get this to 5 hours of screen on time. If this last year it had 5 hours of screen on time, it may have been my favorite device ever. It is just that much fun to carry this around and have this device. They did not increase the size of the outer display, still 1.9 inches. There were some rumors that we were going to get 2.1 inches, but I don't really think that was going to make a difference either way. I don't think that it didn't make it usable, right? It didn't make it to where you could type on it. That really is going to be the next evolution, where you could type or send a short message or respond to something on the outer display. 1.9 inches is fine for those widgets that they put on here and whatever else, so not concerned with that. So that was about the same. That's fine. But the battery life, to me, is the big one. It's not performance. It's not storage. It's not durability. It's not all those other things. It's, did you need the extra battery life or not? And a lot of people didn't, right? Because they used it as that disconnect device. They used it as that device that they did less with, which is something, there's something to be said for that in 2022. And checking that social media feed one less time, not updating that Facebook feed for the 100th time in the last 5 minutes. So that's what people used it for. But if you were somebody who used it a little bit more, wished on, you took it out for a night out after a day of work and you wanted a little bit more of that screen on time, I think hopefully they recognize that they want it to be mainstream. And to be mainstream, you're going to have to get a serviceable screen on time. 5 hours is the target I'm looking for. The Snapdragon 8 Plus and the 3,700 milliamp hours. But even still, just to get a year newer phone with updates, if you could trade this in, spend $100 and you got yourself a brand new device, that's tough to beat. Let me know what you think below. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Like I said, if you haven't tried one, go back and watch my videos on the Flip 3 throughout the year. It's an exciting device. It's not for everybody, but if it is something for you, and you like that idea of kind of having the foldable, having something closed, having the ability to kind of disconnect a little bit, having the compact nature of the device, then I think you'll like it. But go back and watch those videos, because I do have to pep talk people a little bit on these. But the people who did get them and were okay with the screen on time, really loved them. Until next time, have that Steve Lucius day.